I'm Martin Green, and you're listening to The Portal. If I were you, I'd stick some headphones on at this point because, as ever, it's all about the lugs.
You still want a translator from Scottish?
Why on earth would I... Yes. Yes, I do. A very important role. Come in. But what happened to your eye? Please, sit down.
It's nothing.
Angela arrives at the door and the top retreats to the corner, sulking.
Here, have a brandy. Just a little one. A settler.
I can't go back to London.
No need. Come and work here. We shall find you lodgings directly.
I can't go back to London.
So you say, my dear, but why not? What terrible occurrence took place?
I left home to get away from this. They're all arseholes in my family. My cousin, my own bloody cousin.
Your cousin did this?
Freddie, arsehole. Don't even know what he was on about. Thinks I'm with a man with money and wants some of it. I've no man and I've no money. Told him that and he said he'd met him, that this guy's been to his house. A lord. Obsessed, he says he was.
That all sounds most unlikely.
Aye, well, Freddie was harder to persuade.
Etteridge, we know, is a creature of great patience. Well, the top is a creature of great patience too. And its filthy, tattered ear pricked up as soon as it heard the first lie. Because the top feeds on deceit. Untruths breed instability. And that's when the top grows fat. So it stops sulking and waits patiently for the inevitable.
I've told none of them where I am, no even my ma. Have you got family?
No, I don't.
Aye, well, we'll be orphans together then. Cheers for the brandy. What is it you need again?
You will assist me. Cataloguing recordings of musicians and singers. Tell me, do you sing yourself at all?
No.
Really? Never? Well, you seem like you would have the most charming voice.
No, not anymore. I used to sing for coins in my parents' pub. Hated it. I've got an actual job now.
Yes, indeed you do. Helping me with my research.
And the Scottish translation thing.
Don't worry about that. I got the hang of it in the end. Easy enough when you get your ear in. We'll try now. Take the blank tape and put it into the machine. That's right.
I'm going to play you something special now. Recording, this magic of temporal displacement, puts us in a room with them for their first proper conversation. And it all gets so exciting from here because now we have primary evidence and there's less of my fantasy and we start slipping into reality. So often during this, I forgot why I was looking, or even what I was looking for. I just get wrapped up in their story.
That thing killed it.
Always leave an audio stamp at the start. A time, date, place, in that order. Always in that order. The labels may be lost, so it is vital. Also, you may wish to state your name and a brief description of your surroundings, etc. For example, 2:32 p.m. Wednesday, 29th of May, 1946. Test interview, George Etteridge McCaskill and Angela Dixon.
How do you know my name?
They told me in the pub in London.
Aye, why were you in that pub?
I'd tried a few hostleries looking for a native Scot. Please, to the interview, we cannot waste tape. Name.
We just went over this.
For the purpose of demonstrating a test interview.
I thought we couldn't waste tape, we just did name.
Age.
None of yours, mister.
The entire purpose of data collection is to collect data.
I'm 23.
Occupation.
Wow, you just gave me a job. This really isn't good use of your tape. Let me practice. Name.
Always the audio stamp first.
2:33 p.m. Wednesday, 29th of May, 1946, Oxford University. Name.
George Etteridge McCaskill.
That's a lot of name, pal.
Interviewers are impartial, always.
Age.
28.
Married.
No.
Girlfriend.
No.
Boyfriend.
No. Look, I think that's plenty.
One thing, I'm not 23, I'm 19, but I really need...
So Etteridge started sending Angela out to make recordings for him.
Working
In the first instance, quite staid recordings in quite staid places.
It is August 24th, 1946.
We can trace a remarkably rapid development through these early recordings.
10th December 1946, Society of International Musicologists, London. Excuse me, sir. Would you mind just stepping to the one side a bit, please? I need the microphone to have a clear path to the sound. Thank you ever so much. Thank you.
Etteridge began taking her with him on research trips. Indeed, she became indispensable to him. Etteridge, the weight of the top reduced, made great strides in his work. He had been searching for years for living links to the hoving ritual. He was convinced that it hadn't just stopped, and that he could find something of it in the modern world. That's what had taken him to Straven in the first instance 4 years ago, that fateful trip where he made the recording of Angela. That had, shall we say, put a cat amongst his rather excessively organised pigeons. And so it was years before he catalogued the other tapes from that trip. When he did, he made a discovery that was both academically exciting and personally difficult. Mention of a festivity called the Brìghde, still happening within living memory in the Straven area, and that seemed so similar to the hoving that the compulsive Etteridge had to follow it up. But it would mean returning to Straven. Does he risk taking Angela with him? He knew he would do better work with Angela, but he couldn't risk meeting her parents again. I see Etteridge pacing round and round his study, and the tup pacing 2 steps behind him.
Place an advertisement in the local newspaper for folk musicians. Perhaps some of the men now return from war.
Of course, we know Etteridge's decision. He does take Angela with him, and almost immediately she shines, because she knows who to talk to.
Oh, we'll just go to Mr. Stewart.
Who is Mr. Stewart?
Piper. He's very good, does all the good funerals. Well, except Bobby. Well, he couldn't after what had happened with the missus and his dog. Never thought it was her fault, but he always blamed her. I mean, like a 70-year-old woman could strangle a dog.
The tup, delighted to have a window seat, stretches out and waits patiently. Okay, this one is gold dust. I went to the cottage where this was recorded. I mean, it's double glazed now and has a very tasteful extension. Very rural, fits right in. I didn't go in. There was a BMW 4x4 and a brand new Mini parked outside, but I could see the size of the original 2-room building, and it did give me something of the sense of what that Piper's cottage was like in 1947.
8:42.
And I would say probably
13th of February,
drafty.
1947, Straven.
He wants to know about the Brìghde, Mr. Stewart.
It's old music, Ken. It's no written down for you. You'll no learn this for anywhere except them that kens it already, Ken.
I think so. I think you refer to the oral tradition.
I refer to the old tradition.
There is something about Etteridge that just seems to wind people up.
It isn't music for prancing about in fancy houses. Neither for sending Scotsmen to English wars.
Now, I think we're all on the same side here.
Etteridge, man, come on.
A wee bit more. So it was like a summer party, the Brìghde.
This is a music that has no
Purity
start.
in music or
And
people
with God's good grace
is a
will
false
have
concept,
the end.
as is
This
authenticity.
is music for them that come
But some people do have an ability to talk about traditions, with a weight of authority at least.
This music comes from God. I know the God that lets bairns die when there's food in the kirk.
So, tell me, what are the forms and dances for this music? Is it reels, jigs? Are they couples dances?
You're a man of modern thoughts, Dr. McCaskill. You'll no understand it in the terms. I'm not sure you're going to grasp this. Maybe we should leave.
I get it. Of course there was.
She really
something
saves him here.
before what we have now, but
I think he would have left with nothing
slick.
if Angela hadn't been
Tell
there.
us for the tape, just so it's not lost, eh?
This is an amazing thing to have caught on tape, because we can feel these two people getting to know each other, discovering each other's strengths. And for Angela, discovering for the first time what strength she had.
Life is a journey through time, is it not?
Suppose so.
And music and art. For we can't see it, touch it, we can't fill our bellies with. It exists only in time. Only in what Riemann cries the fourth dimension.
You've read Bernhard Riemann?
I'm a piper, no a fucking idiot. The Drachman tunes...
Etteridge had an epiphany that night.
Like a gay Gordon's at a pipe.
He grasped something fundamental about this music.
Is deep. Like the roots of a tree, Ken.
A clue to find in the hoving, which he was so desperate to do.
Aye.
And he couldn't have done it without her.
Under the ground. And without it, nae trees. So, the trees are when we choose to push air through the reed, Ken. Then we can hear the tune. Feel it like we could even touch it. But it's there all the time, Ken. Under the ground.
You describe it so beautifully.
So, in answer to your question, is there dancing? Aye, there's dancing. But nane as you could publish in a threepenny book, Ken. You've turned out fine enough, Angie. She'll know plenty about having a good time. Dicks and parties. Infamous. Well, not so much new, of course. Sorry to hear about your pa, Angie. Your mum bearing up?
We can hear Angela covering up here.
Bye. You know, man.
She had no idea that anything had happened to her dad.
Tough as a week old chop.
Etteridge talked her out of going to the pub to see her
She'll
mum,
be pleased to see you.
and the tup danced silently between them, stronger and stronger.
The pipes will be ready now.
You're quiet. I have a hip flask in my case. Would you like?
No. Yeah, actually, thanks. You happy with the recording?
Happy. It is an amazing find. You were marvellous.
Tastes posh.
A little indulgence. When in Rome. You are truly gifted. You have something I will never have as a researcher. People want to talk to you. Angela, is something wrong?
I should have gone to see Mama.
I don't think it would have been a good idea. We agreed not this time. It's too soon.
But we were so close. It just seems wrong.
It just doesn't seem sensible. You said yourself, never again.
Aye, I did.
Well then, that's fine. We'll be back, I'm sure of it, at some point.
Aye. Maybe.
That piping really was the most astounding thing. I think I hear in it both a flavour of the MacCrimmons of Skye and the late Archibald Williams of Glenuig. I have a marvellous recording of him from the Oban Highland Guinness in 1937. They stopped it after that because a man died in the Capitals.
Etteridge didn't know this was going to be the outcome, and it wasn't his intention. But Angela was never to see her mother again.
To deliver the Cecil Sharp Memorial Lecture, Dr. G.E. McCaskill.
How does a society with no science make sense of the world? Through gods and magic, through epic tales of good defeating evil. And thus, our ancestors performed the hoving. The Canterbury artifacts tell us that during the hoving, every living soul with strength to stand must dance through 2 dawns to welcome the new season. Thousands would gather en masse in the fields. They would dance continuously for 2 days and 2
Etteridge
nights.
was a searcher. I think I'm a searcher. He was looking for the hoving, and I was looking for him. I get the greatest sense of that time in their lives through objects, I think. By 1947, Angela and Etteridge were spending increasing amounts of time together. I have held a pair of quite inaccurately made woolen gloves that were found in a drawer in Etteridge's study, with a card that said, "Many happy returns. Warmest wishes. Angela."
Shall we walk?
1947.
Wait, Etteridge.
They don't appear ever to have been worn.
So I wanted to get you something special, because, well, we've had difficult times and you've been so good to me. But I've no money. Yeah. Here.
Now, look, really, there's no need.
Oh, for God's sake, it's nothing. Took me a month, mind. I haven't knitted since I was about 10.
Cleopatra's ghost. Gloves. Oh, they are beautiful. How very kind. They shall be most useful in, cold. They're wool.
Let's go for a pint, yeah.
To mark the start of summer and vanquish the despair of winter, the hoving. In this, we see celebration of good, but what of evil?
This freaked the fuck out of me when I heard it first. I didn't realise till this point this is why Etteridge is looking for the hoving, because it's the hoving that kills the tup.
Give them shape and personality, and so they made the tup. Perhaps once connected to sacrifice, the tup was a grotesque symbol of all human darkness in the form of a ram's head on a stick. Celebrations started with the running of the tup. Traditionally carried by the fastest man in the village, the children would chase it for a mile before returning to the hoving celebrations. The tup would be thus banished from the village, and with it, bad fortune. Many of my esteemed colleagues, some here...
So had it died, or was it still around? And if it was still around, could it help him?
Whirling flames round.
I understand all that. And a few bits of his compulsive behaviour are falling into place for me now. This is not just academic interest.
Whip. Up. Yes.
This is a guy trying to save himself.
2:30 p.m, 26th of December, 1947.
Angela's recordings are becoming fantastic. They're not just factual, but they're giving us real sense of place. These evocative pockets of time that she's moving around. And Etteridge's career is going better than ever. For the first time, it feels that people are listening to him, and not just academics. He's getting time on the radio, he's broadcasting lectures. He discovered the only known pieces of evidence that link the hoving and the tup. And one of them is this 1937 recording by Whitby singer Vaj Upgang.
Down, took down, and die, took die within this land, although you'll lie. No, in this land no more you'll dwell, for we will cast you into hell.
The tup was a grotesque symbol of all human darkness.
The more I learn about the hoving, the more I feel it not as a celebration, but as a warning. Etteridge's search and my search, they both seem so earnest. Angela manages to combine work and pleasure very successfully, it seems.
This is frying, Etteridge. This thing you're looking for, it's not in the fields anymore, it's in the pubs.
Hi.
Sorry.
Oh my God. Sorry. How you doing?
All right, Edge. You free after this?
Yeah, I'm working right now, but I will be.
5:30 a.m., 1st of May 1948. Bampton Morris.
I can imagine that Etteridge's rather old-fashioned research techniques might have got a bit frustrating for Angela. This is all we have of this recording, unfortunately. So we are left to imagine them schlepping the monstrous recording machine.
Volga, come on, fill this down.
Put in the brolly. Shall we go? I've seen this before.
The May Day Dawn Dance is significant. It welcomes the new season.
New season's pretty similar then.
Engaging in the act has significance.
But we're not engaging in it. We never do. We're just watching.
We are observing. All right, let's go.
Let's actually engage in something. Let's do a Hoven.
Why?
Because you talk about it all the bloody time. You write about it. You essentially discovered it.
Carter discovered Tutankhamun's tomb. Doesn't mean he dressed up like an Egyptian.
Oh man, this weighs a ton.
Here, let me take it for a while.
The reason is that if you don't try it, how will you know what it feels like?
Why do I need to know what it feels like?
Because that's the point. That's why people do things, to feel things.
I don't agree. Human behavior is rooted primarily in survival, then procreation as a subset of continued survival with certain social aspects that develop around those things.
Romantic.
To the left. My point is, I am an historian, an anthropologist, a scientist of human convention.
Give me that back.
Thanks. My arm's gone dead.
If you won't test your thesis, what's the point in all your information gathering?
So that we may know of the past, so that all knowledge of these customs is not lost forever.
To what end? Say we discover Romans used to wear pink hats. So what? How does that help?
Well, it helps, because if the only people who know that fail to write it down, then we would have no idea what colour hats the Romans wore, and that would be a shame. And I can't imagine they were pink. That seems most unlikely. You're shivering.
I'm fine. I still think we should try it.
George III banned the hoving, describing it as befitting only of savages. I will present a document today giving conclusive evidence of this practice very much alive.
I haven't heard Etteridge's voice more confident than it is in this lecture. It seems like he's really found his stride. Maybe this confidence played a part in his agreeing to Angela's suggestion to reenact the hoving ritual in the cellar of Balliol College in 1948.
I'm not so sure about this now. Are you drunk?
Drunk is a bit strong. I have drunk, it doesn't mean I am drunk.
These are not the circumstances under which one conducts academic research. We should reschedule.
This is a reenactment of people getting pished and dancing about. I think in many ways I have embraced this situation far more professionally than you have. Come on, Etters, you need to drink too, it's important.
10:30 p.m. 14th of December 1948. Cellar of Balliol College.
You're about to hear a recording of the single happiest night of one man's life. How many people can say that the happiest night of their life is recorded on tape? There was just three of them. Angela, Etteridge, and a music student Etteridge roped in.
Okay, start the music.
People walk first in one large circle.
They ended up dancing all
thrice
night.
with the sun and thrice with their shins.
They used 7 hours of tape that night. We're not going to play you all of it. That's in the extras.
Down into the light.
Yes, and drink all you can.
But I must have listened to this 60, 70 times.
If you stop.
I love it. They're in a wine cellar. They're in a college wine cellar.
Down the light.
Open your mouth. Open your mouth.
They're pouring wine over each other. Pouring wine into each other's mouth. Angela decided that she had to talk them into this other state.
Round and round.
Chemicals, music, ritual. She said later on in her career, the act only has significance if we decide it has significance. And then it does.
From the wolves.
She's fucking good at it. So she just starts talking them into this state. Man.
I feel the rhythm through the body.
The top has never looked leaner, never looked thinner. But it's not gone.
I feel the rhythm.
I think Etteridge thinks it's gone for good. I can tell you from experience, it doesn't work like that. I think the whole thing was a bit much for the music undergraduate.
Youngsters can't drink.
Sing for me, my dear. Please.
I don't sing, love. You know that.
Please. Please.
No. What's in you tonight? Well, other than 4 bottles of wine.
We should get married.
Stop it.
I mean it. Angela Dixon, will you be my wife?
Christ's sake, Ayers. But we'll get you off the bloody floor then, alright?
I couldn't guess who was more surprised. I don't think either of them would describe themselves as the marrying type. I think this has to be one of the strangest love affairs ever recorded. And during the course of this, I've also found myself falling in love with both Angela and her research.
Should have seen that guy last night.
Etteridge, I don't think I could say I'd fallen in love with him, but I do have empathy for the guy.
That's flat.
It's 1950. Angela's been working for Etteridge for a while now, and they have found themselves rather surprisingly engaged. Sometimes the wave finds equilibrium in a good place. The problem is, the universe isn't static. Physics is a fucker.
Oh, that is flat.
What do you mean you're not gonna go?
I mean, quite simply, that I do not intend to attend. I hate those things. You go. Dear God, Truman's really going to make an H-bomb.
How did you even get a ticket?
From my godmother, Lady Prudence Henthorne, one of my mother's unbearable bohemian friends. She sits on the board.
Wow.
Wow, if you're interested in people of standing who should know better, gallivanting about like wildlings.
I think I am interested in that. Because that's what we do, isn't it? Record culturally important events.
Precisely, events of traditional bearing and sociological importance, not drunken aristocrats in fancy dress.
Why is it more important to record drunken coal miners in fancy dress?
Their theme is creatures of the sea, for God's sake. It's going to be bare-chested sailors and women dressed as Neptune. It's the Chelsea Arts Club ball. I think you could take a weasel if you put it in an outrageous frock.
10:22 p.m, 31st of December, 1948. Chelsea Arts Club ball. So much velvet. A woman dressed as Neptune. Surprising. Lady Henthorne, I'm Angela.
Christ's sake, Charles, call me Paul. Everyone else does.
Yes, ma'am.
So he sends you out to soggy fields to record the farm folks singing and dancing, does he?
I rather enjoy it. I was up in Sheffield last week recording the Mummin plays.
Well, move that trident as a lamb. Why don't you put your shirt on, you cold darling? What is the purpose of all these recordings? Look around.
I think he wants to build a picture of how culture works in our society.
Build a picture. Do be careful, your metaphors. Why focus on the past? Fashion moves so quick there, it's gone in a flash. Last year they were wall to wall with peacock feathers.
That's great. I'm just a recordist. I just gather things for Etteridge.
Christ, does he still call himself that?
Well, that was his name.
You've no say in this. You are here at the cultural event of the year. He is not.
You're very kind. I just like going out drinking.
And there I think we have the very nub of it. Once was sort bit out by the lamb.
Gospel.
Telegram to George McCaskill, Balliol College, Oxford. I like the girl. New research to be done in modern culture. The girl is to record. I will pay for it. Proof. And just how serious is this thing, George? Because if it's not, there's someone you might like to meet. Arabella!
Brilliant, honestly.
In the little moments I've picked out from this collection of tapes, you can hear Angela change. I suppose they're the ones I'm drawn to. Can't underestimate what this meant. We can hear her being given an opportunity here that is going to change her life forever. This is a massive turning point. Angela now had the freedom to choose what she researched. And she really flies.
Le Louvre.
Whilst George Etteridge McCaskill was undoubtedly a key figure in his field of ethnomusicology, the person that brought these ideas to a popular audience and the focus of this programme is Angela Dixon. Dixon made her first recordings as an assistant to Dr. McCaskill, but it soon became apparent that here was one of the century's great recording minds.
Angela's star was very firmly innocent. They still did a little bit of work together. They wrote that book together, 1,000 Years of Dance. That was how I found them. But all the press around that book seemed to focus on her. All the photos of her posing with these enormous recording machines, bag in hand. I think Etteridge might have been finding it hard.
Could you put that file with the others?
Yep.
Thank you.
Done.
I thought we might go out to eat tonight. Make a change from the college food, eh? A Chinese restaurant's just opened up on Broad Street.
A Chinese restaurant?
Early 1948. And Etteridge has returned to black ink.
I'm going to London, remember?
I sense him increasingly unable to quell the top.
You should come. The jazz is amazing. You'd love it.
We have the richest cultural traditions in these islands. I don't...
I'm late for the train.
Bye.
It seems by that time Etteridge has pretty much stopped going out. I think that he just sat in that room night after night. For a short while he hadn't needed the song. He and Angela engaged. The waves seemed to have rested in a place of contentment. But slowly the top grew stronger again. And that recording played a bigger and bigger part in his long, lonely nights.
1 a.m, February 14th, 1949. I wish you'd come tonight, Etteridge. I'm at Club 11. It's funny seeing this. They don't open till midnight and they don't serve drink. They just put Benzedrine in their coffee. It's pretty good. That music is Ronnie Scott and he's on fire. He's just in with the people. And it's not like audience and performer in there, it's just all these people together. It's so much more sensible. It's not just about looking, it's
It's shit being lonely.
Dixon caught the imagination of the public to a remarkable extent, including, of course, her best-known work, Record It or It Didn't Happen, the only LP of documentary recordings ever to enter the UK album charts.
I've actually got a copy of that record, and it is surprisingly listenable if you can get hold of it. I found it genuine, like insightful, quite profound. And I do feel privileged and surprisingly emotional, given that I only met her once, that one of the last recordings she ever made was with me.
She go to his room at the university. They've kept it just as he left it. You just
But I
have to
didn't
make
go.
an appointment.
I was just busy. I don't know, everything seemed alright. I was off the fags, the top seemed to be at bay. And then November 2018, that box of Angela's tapes arrives at my house. She was the last link to Etteridge, and therefore my last living link to the tub. Whatever had happened to Etteridge, I was very sure I didn't want it to happen to me. So in January 2019, kind of reluctantly, I went to Oxford. I made an appointment and I went to Etteridge's room. 21st of January 2019, Balliol College. I made this pretty desperate recording while I was in the
Etteridge's
room. Angela would not have been impressed
It's
at all.
surprisingly neat.
I was a bit distracted.
I mean, I expected it to be neat, but
I kept wandering round his room.
surprisingly neat.
If it hadn't been for the recording
Interesting to be
equipment,
in the same
I could believe
space
nothing
that
had
he was
changed as
in.
Etteridge moved
I
in.
expect that to have such
A photo
impact.
hangs on the
But
wall
actually,
taken from his first year there,
It's surprisingly effective.
probably 1937,
Places someone else's.
and another of Etteridge at Harrow,
I feel like it would be a...
but that was what spammed me out. All of a sudden I feel my stomach jump up through my body, and I fucking know this photo. This photo is from my nightmare. The faces of these boys, I know it. Immediately there, in the middle of that room, I see it. I see him having a dream I have had so many times.
He turns sharply. The games master. Oh shit, he's here again. It is cross country, so it is winter. Etteridge, out of self-preservation, attempts to keep his lead. Up over the hill behind the school, he reaches the top, but at that point the adrenaline cuts off. He can feel himself slowing. Hears the boys approaching. Out of sight now of the games master, out in the wilds. McCaskill! Think you started a bit before the gun there, McCaskill. Not very sporting, eh? Not very fair on the rest of us. Not very British, McCaskill, eh? The boys grab him, one each to a limb, swing him vigorously to and throw him down over the edge of the chalk pit behind the hill. Etteridge feels himself moving through the air, bracing himself for the landing. But he just keeps moving. He can see himself from above, arms by his sides like some buried warrior, hovering over the chalk pit, this great hole in the landscape. For a moment he's quite relaxed, allows himself to marvel that this great chasm was made with flint and bone alone, and he was suddenly falling again. He was lower now. Below the surface of the ground, the skull disappeared from view as the roots of trees came past him, and the skulls and bones and shields of some long-forgotten battle were far from the sight of those on the surface. And as he fell and fell, he saw it all, the earth and the shields and the roots on the earth, and above it all the skull. And he landed. He felt the impact, but no pain. He could not move. Not one part of him, but he could see. He saw the movement of figures dancing on the exposed chalk, white dust flying up. 12, 2 dozen. Every creature moving as a single being, but yet with some clear, common purpose. It was wonderful. It had some perfect sense about it. He could see Angela in the herd. Etteridge felt himself rising. Felt a strong light inhabit him as he pulled himself from the ground.
I just sat on the floor of Etteridge's room for a while. My head's still half in that dream.
Step forward. He looked down. Human feet. A pair of trainers. My shoes.
And I notice on the far wall a serving hatch. It's on an outside wall. It just seems like a weird place for a push at it. It's been painted over.
I stepped forward to dodge past him. The beast
But it clearly opens. I push harder. It gives way. This is a disused chimney. I just had to go for it. One chance. I climb in. I can just stand up in there. Up on the opposite wall hangs a paraffin lamp, covered in 1/4 of an inch of dust. I look down. Bloodstains. No. Red sealing wax. Loads. Like red bird shit. Drops all around. And a silver plate. The hallmark just visible through the dust. I realise what I'm seeing on that plate. Bones. Rabbit, I'm pretty sure. And sealing wax. Still keeping the shape of this long dead creature. Like the bodies in Pompeii. I turn round and shine the torch straight in front of me. There in a gilt gold frame. A picture I know all too well. That eyeless beast staring back at me. Holy shit. This is an altar. People say if you do something, anything, all day, it gets into your dreams. Well, not mine. Doesn't matter what I do all day. I always have the same dream. April 2019. 2 months and 150 hours of audio tape into this research. And I have a different dream. It's almost the same. I'm there, the chalk, the top, of course. But Angela's there. Just for a fleeting moment, the tiniest taste of her. I just keep battering away trying to make this thing, put the story together, trying to make this show. I think that's what Angela wants me to do. There is a lot of it to get through. But it does pay back in total gems.
1974, Finsbury Park, London. I'm standing outside. Hey! I'm just waiting.
It's illegally parked, madam. I'm writing you a ticket.
I'm fucking standing right here.
It's illegally parked, madam.
I'd have a face like that and all if I'd never got laid.
I find myself avoiding the first recording I made. The one I made in her flat. It had, actually freaked me out at the time, and she's dead. I don't know why I'm scared of dead people. They would seem like the least dangerous of all people. The act of movement in a given direction and return to equilibrium position creates a disturbance in the wave. A disturbance is what I'm looking for. So I summon up courage, buy some tobacco, and listen. Recording. It's the capture of changes in waves. That's all it is. So why does it feel like listening to a ghost? She was alive. Now she's dead. That's about as certain as 2 wave points are ever going to get. But I find it hard to listen to. I'm sure the tap has shares in Rizzler. By the end of the tape, my belief in documents as truth became a little shaky. I think that happened to Angela too. Maybe that's what she was trying to tell me. Some truths are absolute. Some are lies. And some are less clear. Misremembered, half forgotten, or high on drugs or adrenaline, or low with self-doubt. They're all distortions. Our story contains bits of all of these. But here's some absolutes. Angela had lied to Etteridge the day they met. Etteridge had lied to Angela every day since.
A load of hot air is spoken about truth in art. If it is truth in art we're after, then let's use truth. Let document be art. And then we just have to wait. And in the fullness of time, art will repay us as true document.
And you've been documenting your entire life.
I'm trying to capture representative moments, not necessarily the most dramatic bits. I'm trying not to hide anything.
And that included recordings of your use of LSD. Did you think it was safe?
That's one of the purposes of projects like this, to find out. The world needs research, so we took LSD and recorded our conversations.
And what did you talk about?
Whatever happened. That's what truth is.
And for about 20 years she lived like that. Not just documenting drugs, that was just a little bit of it. She tried to document her whole life through recording. Her first machines were heavy and it was essentially a diary, but as they get lighter and more portable, we hear Angela all over the place. This story's easy from there, where we have this endless artefact.
Etridge, what?
But there's still a few bits we've got to guess at.
Your work? All your work?
Let's go back to 1950, Etteridge's room in Oxford.
Jesus, Etridge, what have you done? You'll never take these notes back together. You terrified me last night.
Angela, I promise. I've made this decision. I'm giving up drinking.
Drinking? Christ, I don't care about the drinking. I love drinking. If you want to kill yourself, that's your business. But last night, I mean, I don't know what.
I didn't think I'd see you again.
I honestly thought you might be dead. Now I know you're not, so I feel like I should leave.
Don't go. I'd like to try and explain. I have been haunted by this nightmare of the tup. It traps me. It isn't even really my nightmare. I have the strongest feeling it belonged to someone else, and I somehow inherited it.
The nightmares are dreams, Etridge. Come on. Use your scientific mind here. Surely you'd tell anyone else it's a neurological synaptial disconfiguration.
That doesn't mean anything. It's been going on since my 21st birthday. I took a photograph of it, I think. I don't really know. It was my birthday. I was rather drunk. It was with the Morris team in Handsworth. I don't remember much of that night, but I had dreams of this beast, this tup, every night. It just wouldn't stop. When I got the film back from that trip, there it was, staring at me.
But it is just an object. It's just sackcloth stuffing.
So one would think. I could not rid myself of it. Drinking made it quiet for the night, but stronger than ever in the morning. I read all I could about it. I travelled all round Yorkshire, Derbyshire. The stories say they used to banish it with the hooving, so I put all of my life into that, but nothing helped. Every night. Until I heard you sing. I had to find you.
Look, I came to make sure you weren't dead. You're not, so...
I'm going to stop drinking.
Good.
I imagine you probably want to know what happened the night before. And weirdly, although we don't have a recording of that night, we know almost exactly what happened.
I got great stuff from the Flamingo Club. Amazing band over from America. Rubble Jenkins on piano. It's like he doesn't even know what, you know.
Okay, I think that's enough for today.
We haven't finished the Swedish dancers from the Royal Institute.
That tradition has hung on for the last 800 years. I think it will keep till the morning.
Okay. Do you want to get a pint? I'm meeting Sarah in the pub.
No. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye. 12th of September 1961. LSD Research Group. Reading. I think we should get another person involved.
Really? Yeah. A fourth.
Someone that we don't know, because we all have this shorthand. We need someone that's not in this circle.
That's an interesting suggestion, yeah.
Actually, I think that's a really good idea.
No.
Do you have anyone
Only made it constructed energy.
Off the street or something.
There's a finite amount of energy in the universe.
Between the ages of 35 and 39,
Comfortable.
Angela did a lot of research into LSD, recording conversations with a group of academics.
Possibly, yes. I mean, where does that energy end up next?
Doesn't go
Would you feel better if it was another man?
Searches pay off. They don't always give you what you want, but they're going to give you something. The acid tapes, as they have become known, are infamous, but very few people have actually managed to listen through them. And in truth, it's not Angela's most compelling work.
Level things out.
No, thank you. Cheers.
Access to that.
I just feel like we can go further, you know. I feel like we've got further to go.
Push it.
We just can't stop here.
I mean, how further? I mean, where are the...
There is no
where's
final
the
line. That's the point, Derek. There's no final line. That's not what it's about.
No.
Yeah.
No, it should be... I mean, I guess it should be joyful, but maybe that was my problem. I was trying to make something joyful that was actually quite...
Yeah, maybe we're expecting too much.
Exactly, maybe that's just where you were.
What?
It moves, it carries on, you know, the energy is... Yeah, your heart might stop, but the energy, all of it that makes you carries on.
They get on some good trippy shit. Whether on a subatomic level, physics does actually point towards reincarnation.
The stakes were actually quite low.
And clearly had some parties.
We'd have to...
And so much smoking.
I think it's...
After a while, I just had to...
Okay.
Because... Why not?
Why not, indeed. Angela, how did you feel?
I fucking loved it.
You seemed very comfortable with it.
I did. I haven't felt like that in a long time.
No, you're
free.
I did envy you, actually.
Yeah,
freedom,
yeah.
the freedom you had.
I'd actually say that I might prefer that.
What he's thinking. I wasn't expecting to get everything handed in on Monday. That's not going to happen. And don't get me started. Bloody
Anyway, 14 hours in, I found this. And I no longer had to guess what it was that happened that night.
Who dares talk about the most disturbing social situation?
No, I hate this game.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, okay, fuck it, I'll go. He's like... Cheers. It was when I was still working with Etteridge. I'd left his room for the station and gone back. I don't remember why now, for my keys or something. And there he was, barefoot and stripped to the waist. All around him photographs of this weird animal mascot, the Top. Hundreds, maybe 500 photos, and he'd arranged them in a vast spiral on the floor. A dozen candles round the room, and he was lying prostrate in the centre.
Etteridge.
And round the edges of the room,
What are you doing?
half a dozen, maybe 10 recording machines, all playing the same thing.
Nothing. Research.
The same thing.
Nothing.
Something I never thought I'd hear.
No, get off! Let me hear.
My own voice.
Eric!
Nothing.
Rather than a cage.
Oh, Eric!
Shock wasn't in the act. I mean, what's in the
that my
act?
voice?
It only holds power if you give it power.
No.
But when you realise...
No.
Someone close to you...
Is that me singing?
He'd been lying to you. For years and years and years.
I've never heard you sing, Angela.
I don't sing. I hate singing.
I mean... Oh, shit.
Well, then it can't be you.
Oh, gotta get that light again.
You're scaring me, Etteridge. What is going on? Dear Christ, Etteridge. Was that you? The recording man?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Look me in the eye, Etteridge. Did you make this recording?
Look, this recording stands up for me with the greatest vocal talents.
Did you make this recording?
It was just so remarkable. It changed me. It changed how I saw the world.
Oh, I feel sick. It was you. You came looking for me.
I had to find you. It was all that kept it away. I had to.
You went to Straven, but I'd gone. I was in London.
Your mother. Then Freddie.
The obsessive toff. That was you. You fucking arsehole, Etteridge. Freddie battered me half to death over that. I've not spoken to my ma for 4 years. She probably thinks I'm dead. I knew you had problems, but I didn't take you for a liar. You, the man of facts.
I wouldn't take the moral high ground if I were you. You told me you were a tinker.
I was 15. You have deceived me time after time for years. And that's why you'd never let me visit Ma. Oh, dear God.
Look, I took you in, didn't I? I gave you this job, which you've taken as your own. I've seen the shithole you come from, Angela. I've treated you better than any other man would have.
Man, you're no a man, Etteridge. I've been with men. Don't know what you are, some fucking public school mammy's boy, but no a man. Men don't spend all night locked in their rooms blubbing. And they fuck. God. Get off, you'll no see me again, you creepy fucking prick.
Alcohol batters your heart. Your liver too, of course. But it batters your heart. There aren't very many examples of waves in total isolation in the universe. Really, any situation, whether it's emotional or physical, has several factors. Converging waves of infinitely complex patterns. It makes it hard to distinguish a base state of anything. Angela decided she couldn't stay with Etteridge and left. Was that a disturbance? Or was that just Etteridge returning to his base state? That box that arrived at my house, 98 recordings, the cassettes, the reel-to-reel, the throwback mini-disc. Those recordings were of two sorts. The recordings that Angela made of herself. And I didn't see this coming. Tapes that Etteridge had sent to her after they split up. I was the first person ever to hear both sides of this conversation. And I feel both privileged and intrusive. But it's my belief that Angela wants me to share this. So, here you go.
November 14th, 1950. I'm sending you this for your research. It's really quite exciting, this new American music. You were right. Oh, Angela, perhaps we could... December 3rd, 1950. Angela, I thought I should tell you I've taken up boogie woogie piano. I really feel like I'm getting somewhere with it. Maybe we should go to a jazz club and... This is all there is now! Is that what you want? Is that what... I'm going to post this right now, before I...
5:30 a.m. May Day 1951. I came out today to Bampton to record the Modest Dancers. It's become a habit. But I also think I might have hoped to bump into you. I don't hate you, Etteridge. I just can't be with you. I hope you're okay. Here it is, anyway, to add to the archive.
June 5th, 1951. Angela, you were kind enough to send the Morris dance recording. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, but you didn't send me the OS coordinates for the dance site, nor did you send any chart of the dance steps used. Perhaps we could, thank you for sending the recording of the,
11:24 p.m, 12th of March 1960. I'm at Duke Vin's Sky Night at the Marquee. There's a few DJs playing mostly Jamaican imports. Too loud to record in there, but the vibe is electrifying. Whoa.
Oh! Excuse me. Sorry,
okay.
love.
Don't worry about it, it's fine. Do you want a hand?
Oh, would you?
Okay, let me take one of those, yeah.
I'm just a damn record parter for me boy.
Your boy?
Mm-hmm. He play records in there. Gets paid more than I do.
Mary?
Alison?
Angela, no worries.
Oh! Hey, just here, it's fine. Damn girl! You can pash! Woo!
It is amazing to see you.
And you, Angela. Oh, there's my boss.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh. Bye.
See you now.
They did this for 24 years. She moved to Reading, he stayed in Oxford, in that same room, looking into the hoving, trying to pin it down where it was, what it meant. And I can only assume, listening over and over to that song. We're going to jump to the end now. These are the last tapes in the series. This is 1974.
7:30 p.m, 5th of July, 1974. I'm at Medworth, and I've just seen a band called Pink Floyd. I mean, just movement of energy through this field.
Blow back.
Get big! I'm recording! And all these people, like Jesus!
Angela, I'm stopping drinking. When the days get a bit longer, though, but I wanted to tell you. And then I thought, well, that Chinese restaurant we never did must be all right. It's still going after 20 years. Maybe we should...
August 20th, 1974. Hi, love. I sent you the recording of the Pink Floyd band. Did you get that? Hope you're okay. I've got this new tidy tape machine. We can do so much now.
They did see each other one more time. On the 29th of August 1974, Etteridge was admitted to the newly built John Radcliffe Hospital in Oxford. One of his students had found him collapsed on the stairs up to his study.
2:30 p.m, 30th of August 1974, John Radcliffe Hospital, Oxford. This is going to be odd. Right. I'm going.
Angela. How did you know?
Good job you didn't die in the Etteridge.
At your tiny new machine. Let me see. Wow, it is dinky. You really do record everything. Here, have it back.
Can you hold it for a sec? I'm going to roll a fag.
You can't smoke here.
Can't stay.
No, I'm sure.
It said liver failure. Not the end, Etters, but you have to change the way.
I can do that, Angela, but I need to just settle first.
I know that, love. I brought you this. Hide it.
Thank you. I know you know.
Yeah, I wish I didn't.
I'm discharging myself this afternoon.
Really? Phone me when you get it.
Before you go, could you, without the...
I know I can do this. I know I'm right. Thanks for the bottle. I just needed a settler, to get me home. I've thrown the rest away.
You're going to be okay. If you can get through this first night, you've done
And Etteridge did discharge himself.
Phone me in the morning, tell me you're all right.
I get a real sense of positivity about him from the clues we can find of that day. We know that he went back to his room and tidied, extra tidy, even for Etteridge.
Did it, Angela, and actually I feel great. This is going to be fine.
Laid out on his desk with the beginnings of a new book, It Will Return to the Fields, Professor G.E. McCaskill, a brave new work predicting the future of social dancing in England. I imagine him setting off to work that morning pretty chipper. But I also see the tap silently behind him. Alcohol batters your heart. Your liver too, of course, but it batters your heart. That's sort of okay, unless you stop suddenly. The heart becomes weaker and weaker as the body is poisoned, but the brain and body become used to that toxic presence. It is normality, the base state. Should it be denied that, the brain and body will panic. There will be shock.
Peter, you look good for a guy with 5 kids.
Etteridge died in the street
Thanks for meeting me.
on the 31st of August, 1974, 100 yards away from Balliol College.
It hurt so much more than I expected, Peter. Something felt wasted about it. Is it all okay with the church to play a tape?
Yes. Sound system's all arranged.
There are no recordings from Angela for 3 weeks after that. I had at first assumed that she was in stasis. But in fact, it turns out she was working on something quite special.
I want to say something about him. It's all rewound, ready to go.
I think she really had made something special for him. A remarkable requiem of sound.
I missed my own mask.
Bits of his collecting career and some carefully chosen words on top. But as I understand it, she spilt a drink over it in the pub just before the funeral. There's some tantalising snippets of that tape, but whatever it is that got knocked all over it is completely unplayable. I imagine it cold in the church. Peter, a couple of others from the department, a few from college. No women. Sure, the vicar tried his best, but Etteridge came from 3 generations of atheists. He can't have known the guy.
He was a bloody good bloke, Etters, And I think we should remember that. She can't be with us today, but Angela Dixon, and we should remember...
In the end,
Professor McCaskill,
this is the tape they played.
Has made a recording she would like us to play.
Jesus, fuck! I had a plan.
man, Etteridge. I made something special. I just twatted a double chin over it, and now I'm in the lavage of a pub trying to make a new one. Service is in like 5 minutes. Should have made a safety copy, eh? That's what you would say. Right. Okay. It's 11:33. Oh, fuck it really doesn't matter. Hope you're not disappointed that I'm not there today. But you know, we had some fun, you and me. I saw something, Etteridge. I saw a warmth. I saw a brick that knew you was there. And I saw a scared man. You refused. Oh! Are you recording? Would you fuck off, please? I dragged you to the Pally ballroom. We did that terrible recording. There was condensation in the mic, but the music that night was amazing. That band, full of post-war joy. That building was buzzing. Everyone wild, throwing their bodies into this new home. Unbridled like children. No hint of jealousy in your eye, Etteridge. Every time I asked, you said, I am perfectly happy. The rest of us were ecstatic. Death is pain. Sorry. Death is pain. And no word stands round that for us. Inconsolable pain. Something is gone. Utterly gone. An insoluble problem. Just gone. Not since childhood have I felt a grief so physical, so attached to my stomach. What now? Go to work? Don't go to work? Doesn't seem to matter.
So Etteridge was lost to the top. That was clear. Just giving it things hadn't worked. After I went to Etteridge's room in 2019, I just stopped doing this for a while. Too hard, too dark, too scary. This is what lies in store for me. I felt the longer I looked at it, the more inescapable that would be. So I stopped. Fag-ash keyboard and endless YouTube. January 2020, Jiffy bag arrived on my doorstep. I don't remember ordering anything, unless the elves did it. It's the USB drive from my goth sister. Now I feel duty-bound to her. She's put Angela's last mini-disc on it. So I have to listen. To finish this.
It's midnight on 30th of April.
Angela is 61 in that recording, and I've got a Polaroid from that night which I wish I could show you. Angela and a young woman who I assume is the person you're about to hear. And Angela's wearing a t-shirt which reads, "Fuck Thatcher," in a speech bubble coming out of a portrait of Virginia Woolf. I'm pretty sure that's not a direct quote. Polaroids. Physical representations of a moment, just like tapes. This recording is from 1988. She recorded it first onto a tape, then she transferred that onto a mini-disc, and my goth sister put it on a USB stick for me, and now I've copied it onto my hard drive. So how many moments is that? And we get attached to these physical representations of time. She copied it onto a mini-disc because she didn't want to part with the object. What she actually did is pretty amazing. I picture her sat in her flat, fag in mouth, a tape deck either side of her, editing these moments together for me. It's a shame she never made a podcast. She'd be the fucking queen of that. I told you I thought I'd found one of the strangest love affairs ever documented. And strange is how it left me feeling when I got to what I have to consider to be the end. I wish I had some great bit of learning to share with you, but to be honest, though I maybe found how, I still don't know why. As I'm sitting right now, all around me, my desk is strewn with hundreds of cassettes, yellow-page journals, that Polaroid, things of such splendour and humanity. Etteridge had preserved all these objects from Angela, tapes with hand-scrawled labels, one written in eyeshadow, tapes from the 70s with hot rod burns in them, and Etteridge's tapes to her, labels all set square parallel, date, time, place, all written in his beautiful ink hand, some in blue, some in black, and one in red. These two extraordinary people who posted things to each other. Never expected them to converge in one place. Yet here they all were, all over my desk. There's so much life about these objects, I can taste it. And one ugly little USB stick. This was the last piece I got, so I thought I'd save it till last for you two. People, it seems, love bookends. These are sort of mine.
Martin, you need this tape too. I can't bring myself to part with it. It's stupid, but so I'm recording it onto this damn 90s machine for you because I've lost my fucking phone again. I hope you find a way to play it. I've also made a copy of it because I learned a lesson once. Always make a copy. You know, record it or it didn't happen. It would have been great if some things didn't happen. It's been a long time since I did a tape edit, so excuse any level changes and shit mixing. So, one night I went to this party. I've got the message still. Directions always on an answer phone. That was the way.
Night only, 30th of April 1988. Mayhem! Take junction 27 off the M25, heading north.
It's 5 midnight on 30th of April. No, it's the 1st of May 1988. I'm in a disused pig gutting factory in Epping. I'm at a night called Mayhem. This is pretty great. Only maybe 200 people. Drawn a massive fluorescent mushroom on the wall. Fair enough.
You don't have to talk to yourself. Here, do you want this? You go out a lot.
Quite a lot. More parties than clubs. Can't be arsed queuing you.
When I can. I'm skint. And I've got a little girl, so it's hard to get out. I mean, you grow up and you know about love and you love your friends and you love your parents.
If you're lucky.
And you think you know what that is, but having a kid, if you got kids, you think you have this idea of the size of love, but then you have a kid.
You want the split back?
I've got a daughter, man, called Lily. And it's different, man. It's a new sort of love. It's...
You okay?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, just coming up. Am I talking total shit?
You're talking very lovely shit about your daughter.
Sorry. They're quite strong, these ones. Have I been talking for ages?
I'm not in a hurry. It's nice to chat.
I like you. It's great that someone your age still goes out, no offence, like...
No worries.
I think he's going to change the world, man. Imagine if everyone in the world could feel like this.
Never tried it.
What? You've never tried a pill?
I've had my share of fun. Sorry, what's your name?
Becca. Hey, I've got a spare pill. I brought it for a friend, but she's not here. Do you want it? No pressure.
No, thank you.
What was I talking about?
Love.
Oh, was I? Are you in love?
Nah, not for a long time. Solo artist.
Never?
I had a bad one once, kind of put me off.
Married?
Nearly. Well, fuck, he wasn't a man you could live with. I do miss him, though.
Go and find him.
Not that easy. He's dead. But even if he wasn't, he never did anything. Never tried anything.
Totally zoned out. Sorry, love. What were you talking? What were you saying?
Nothing. You say you got a spare pill?
Bollocks! Oh, yeah. That's it. So, Martin, that was a great night. Like maybe that could change the world, but truth in document. I'm going to try and splice in the next Wednesday. You can't splice a mini-disc, ugly little things.
It's Wednesday. 4th of May, 1988. I'm naked, lying in a bath of Peat warmed an hour ago. Candle is almost... enough light from the LED in the shower for me to see my feet. Just... fuck. Desperate. Brutal. This is a chemical state of mind. I know this. Like hunger or exhaustion, it's not real. But if this isn't real, were the feelings I had on Saturday real? That felt like love. I loved those people. Isn't that real? Becca called me on Sunday night to check I was okay. Isn't that real? That's a real act of friendship. But the last bit...
I've never played this to anyone, but it seems from your story you're somehow connected. And besides, I'm sure I said, try to tell absolute truth. Art as document, document as art. Pretentious twat. Record it or it didn't happen. I did record it, and I still don't know if it happened.
I'm going ahead.
You can't go now.
I feel really shit, and I have this thing with my heart. I think I might have done a stupid thing. I can feel my pulse going crazy.
Come and sit with me. 10 minutes, please.
Yes, I got it, the multi-track dancer. I sat on a crate with that stranger, smoking, talking shite, and something like bubbles came up through me. A remarkable feeling that everything was going to be okay. And maybe this night had been planned. I was nuggets.
Ah, there we go.
Oh, that is better. Oh man, that feels good now. It's good to be with people, you know. With people and music. I've always felt that. And it's just waves, you know. It's just that someone, Detroit or wherever the fuck has made this captured pattern of vibrations. A synth, a drum machines. They send that up to a deep shorter. Captures the alarm. It's so just waves across the ocean. And sending those waves out to us. Massive vibration.
must have been munted. I let the tape run out. I must have missed 4 hours of that night. I remember when you had to turn tapes over. Fuck that. Anyway, that's not the point. This bit's the point.
5:17 a.m. May 1st, 1988. It's been a really great night. I made great new pals. Feel really lovely. God, I love recording. It's magic.
Wanna lay?
Oh, no thanks, love. I'm going to walk through the forest and wait for the tube to start running. Come on.
Give a hug.
I'll call you. And what's your name?
I wouldn't want you to worry about me.
Christ alive!
I'm sorry. I had considered other greetings, but they all seem a little melodramatic.
Etteridge, what the fuck are you doing in Epping Forest? Were you there?
Not any more than I'm anywhere. I was mostly watching the Mayday Morris. I think that was maybe what helped. But yes, I had a look at your noisy gathering.
That party, it was magic. Did you see me dancing?
I did. Just like the ballet ballroom.
Oh, do you remember that night?
Remembering things is what I do.
Fuck, it's good to see you, man.
Vulgar. Oh, it is good to see you. I wanted to tell you, I've solved the problem. The tub, it's not an issue for us now.
How does this work? Can you hang around?
Maybe.
I'll try harder. I'm sorry about not going to your funeral. Did it go as planned?
Bloody shambles. The hours I put into it. People seem incapable of following even simple instructions. It's not how one pictures one's... Also, the recording quality on that tape was awful. No time and date stamp.
Don't try to teach me how to do my job.
Yes, I believe I've already done that.
Hey, is this happening? I can't see you.
Are you recording?
Always. Why?
Because I wanted to tell you about what happened with the tub. I don't feel good about it, but it's someone else's problem now.
What? What did you do about the tub?
It looks for searchers. It seeks out people who've wandered from the group. I had nothing left to lose, so I had nothing left to give. It found a new home. Someone else who'd wandered too far from the herd. What did you do? I moved it on. I banished it. It's just energy. And you can't make it. You can't destroy it. It just goes to someone else.
People, it seems, love bookends. These are sort of mine. It sort of started the day I first saw the top. 5:30 a.m. May Day, 1988. And it sort of ended the first time I played this minidisc. 11:20 p.m. 23rd of January, 2020. I don't know if that's really Etteridge on that tape, or if Angela faked it. And if she faked it, why she would do that. I'll never truly know her motivations, but I am completely sure that Angela wanted to help me. Wanted me to piece all this together to show me something. As I said, I've no monumental learning to share with you all at the end of it, but I do understand more now. And I know I can't kill the tub. But I also know it's not going to take me down like Etteridge. And recordings is just Angela's way of saying stuff. What Etteridge said was true. Invisible waves can affect us. Thank you for listening to The Portal. The Portal is free to listen to and will remain free to listen to, but if you'd like to support the project, the single most wonderful, useful, brilliant thing that you can do is to introduce someone else to it. It really makes a massive difference. The music album is available from my website or on Bandcamp. The Portal was directed by the incredible and brilliant Wils Wilson, who was absolutely and fundamentally involved in all aspects of this project, from before there was a script to the very final edit. So, thank you, Wils. You're brilliant. Etteridge was played by Dylan Reid. Angela from 1974 to 2017 and Prue were played by Alison Peebles. Angela from 1943 to 1974 was played by Anna Russell-Martin. The piper was Tandine Burr. Mary, the traffic warden, and Becca the clubber were played by Amanda Wilkin. Richard Jeffs was played by Adam McNamara. The TV presenter, Hotelier, and Derek the Tripping Potter were played by Owen Whitmore. Acid Woman was played by Nadia Albini. MG was played by Martin Green. Dramaturgy by David Greig. Script, sound and music by Martin Green, featuring Yasaman Najmeddin on Qanun, Radie Peat as the voice of the song, Brìghde Campbell on small pipes and C, James Holden on dance floor bangers, synths and drum machines, Adrian Utley on guitars and synths, Kate Young on voice and fiddle. The music of Vag Up Gang was sung by Eliza Carthy, Irish fiddle music by the late great Joe Scurfield, and that recording comes with kind permission of tunebank.org, which is Joe's remarkable self-made collection of folk music. Go and check it out, it's amazing. Sax music by Phil Bancroft. Big band music featured John Ray's Big Feet and Martin Green with the Curtin Tillers Band. Trombone solo by the sadly missed King of the Bone, Rick Taylor. Ska music was created and performed by Tim Matthew and friends. The music of La Louvre was written and performed by Adrian Utley. Dusseldorf-based Light of the Cthulhu featured Adrian Utley, Inga Thompson, and vocals by Dylan Reid. Music stems mixed by Tucker Martin. Voices recorded by Louis Blatherwick. Podcast mixed by Calum Malcolm with Cameron Malcolm. Many thanks to Eloise Whitmore for all her help with the sound. The script editor and executive producer was Polly Thomas. Many thanks to Gerda Stevenson for her help with Scots language. You heard the music and dancing of Boss Morris. Huge thanks to them and their brilliant musicians. Thanks also to the Newcastle Kingsmen and their musicians. Produced by Martin Atkinson for Lepus Productions, The Portal was commissioned and presented with Edinburgh International Festival, South Bank Centre, Oxford Contemporary Music, National Theatre of Scotland, Shetland Arts, the North Wall, Bristol Beacon and Bristol Music Trust, Mac Arts Gala Shields, and funded by Creative Scotland. Produced by Lepus and Naked Productions. And finally, genuine thanks to you for listening.